Hey guys, I'm Billy Ruth and welcome back to my vlog. It has been a very long time since I've made one of these and I am extremely sorry for those of you who actually care. My life has been a whirlwind the past year and I have not been able to do this as often as I was, so I apologize. But today we're having a Q&A, which I've never done in my life, and I'm so excited because you guys asked some incredible questions, which I'm so excited to dive into. So without further ado, here we go. One of the questions says, what made you take the pregnancy test? Well, I know my body pretty well, I would say. I was just not sleeping, and I'm typically a very good sleeper, and it just was not happening for me. Like day after day after day, I just could not sleep, and it was strange to say the least. And then all of a sudden I was late for my period. So I kind of freaked out because I'm usually never late for my period. I apologize to the men watching this video who don't like talking about women's personal business. But this is the gift of life and there's an exception. So I was late for my period and that was very unusual for me. So I took a pregnancy test and it was totally negative. So I was like, okay, guess I'm not pregnant. That's totally fine. People are just late for their period sometimes. It's no big deal. And then I just started feeling even more weird because I would work out pretty often, but all of a sudden I would lose absolutely all energy I ever had just walking up the stairs, and that was unusual for me. So my workouts were so difficult, I could not finish them without almost collapsing, and my energy levels just died. I was not having any of it, so I just felt weird, and my period continued to be late and late and late and late. So I took another pregnancy test and it was negative. So I took another pregnancy test the next day and it was negative. And I was just getting very frustrated because I was like, either I'm pregnant or there's something totally weird going on with my body. And I was 8 days late for my period. And I took a pregnancy test that morning and it was absolutely negative. Like, you could not get more negative than one solid line. And then I had a girls' night later that evening with a bunch of my friends and I told them about what had been going on. And they were like, oh my goodness, we need to take a pregnancy test as soon as we get home. I was like, no, there's really no point, because there really is just something kind of disheartening about taking a test like multiple times and it constantly being negative, because part of you kind of wants it to be positive, whether you're planning a pregnancy or not. So I was not up to doing another pregnancy test, but it was with my girls, so I did it, and within like 5 seconds of that stick being in the pee, it was 100% positive, and I was mind blown. So I took it again and it was positive, and yeah, I was pregnant.
You are pregnant.
Where? So that's
Two lines. Two lines. You are 100% pregnant.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. 100% pregnant.
What was the first emotion you felt when you found out you were pregnant? Gosh, it was a whirlwind, but I immediately started crying. And I think part of me was relieved that I actually was pregnant, because I had been taking so many tests at this point. I had taken probably like 12, and to finally just like find out like, oh my gosh, I am pregnant and I'm not crazy and my body wasn't just failing me, I was so relieved, and also just astonished at the fact that like, oh my gosh, God chose me to be a mom and this is happening, and in a few months I'm gonna have like a little baby. It kind of all just rushed through my mind in 1 second, and I just cried because I was so overwhelmed. But I think the main feeling I would say that I felt was excitement. So yeah, that's probably it. Someone said, have you thought of names? Yes, absolutely. I'm a planner. We have a boy's name and a girl's name set out and chosen, set in stone. So unless God himself tells me,
no, that is not the name of this child,
I will be like, okay, let's change it. But as of right now, yes, we have names for both, and I cannot wait to share them with you. So yes, someone said, what is your birth plan? Birth plans are tricky because majority of women have them, and then majority of women end up not actually having the birth plan that they planned. So it can be very disappointing in that manner. But if all goes well and everything actually goes according to my plan, I am hoping to do them naturally. No pain meds, no anything. My mom had 3 girls, all of them naturally, and I just believe that there's something extremely special and humbling about the experience that a woman was built and created to go through. And I know that not every woman goes through that, or not every woman really chooses to go through that, which is absolutely fine. Not everyone wants kids, not everyone can have kids. And so I just feel super blessed and super excited to be able to experience it. So I kind of just want to experience everything about it since I get the opportunity to go through it all. So that's kind of my plan. And if all happens and all goes well, then I'm going to be very happy. Also extremely nervous because who is excited to give birth? No. Did your appetite increase, decrease, and have you had any cravings? Wow, my appetite has been the hardest thing during my pregnancy. I have not felt hungry in 3 months. I cannot remember the last time I felt like eating food. So it has absolutely decreased, and I lost a bunch of weight during my first trimester, which I'm still in for another week and a half. But yeah, I just was not eating. The only thing I ever felt like eating was fruit and fruit and fruit, nothing else. And so my appetite has been the biggest struggle of absolutely everything. I think it also had to do with the fact that your sense of smell increases by, like, I don't even know, it's like 27 or something. That's probably such an incorrect number, I apologize, but it increases immensely, and I all of a sudden feel like I'm some kind of superhero because I can smell like someone cooking spaghetti like 3 miles down the block. It's ridiculous. But yeah, that has just made me very sensitive to any kind of food, any kind of meat, any kind of anything. So I have not eaten like a normal person in 3 months. Cravings have not been very big. The only thing I have ever craved has just been things from back home. So, like, if my husband Cody offered to make me like pizza, for example, I would be like, how dare you offer to make me something that you know is just gonna ruin my life and making me throw up everywhere, like so melodramatic. But if I was to think of pizza that my gran was to make at home, I would fall on my face and beg for all the food that my gran could cook in her life, because anything that my mom has ever made, anything my dad ever used to eat when I was a kid, anything that reminded me of my childhood or home was just mwah. But anything else could go down the drain. When is your due date? It is October 27th. Do you want a girl or a boy? This is a hard question because I feel like most couples who get asked this question typically just say, oh, healthy baby, I just want a healthy baby. And that is 100% true. I do just want a beautiful, healthy baby. But I will say that I would feel a lot more comfortable with a girl. I would feel a lot more at home. And I'm not saying that I will know what to do, because I don't think anyone really knows what to do as a first-time parent. But I will have a lot more insight and feel a lot more comfortable if I have a girl. So little girls just excite me a bit more than a little boy does. But at the same time, there's just something so intriguing about having a baby boy, because I just did not grow up around boys whatsoever. I'm also a very firm, harsh, and kind of honest, blunt person. So a lot of my friends have said that I'd be a better boy mom. But I have absolutely no idea, and I would probably just crumble with amazement no matter what I have, because I'm so freaking excited for anything. that is about to slap me in the face. Are you having a gender reveal party? Yes, we are having a gender reveal party, and it's going to be amazing. I'm super excited. The only difference is that we are having it kind of the opposite way around. So instead of Cody and I being surprised at the party, we're going to be the ones who find out first, and we are going to be doing the revealing to everyone else. So stay tuned, because that's going to be one of the funnest days of my life. How is it being young, married, and pregnant? It is the biggest blessing I've ever received in my entire life. I've always been someone who was very willing to settle down at a very young age. I was ready to get married at 17. Doesn't mean I'd be good at marriage, doesn't mean I'd be a great wife, but it was a huge desire of my heart. I think mainly because I feel like my vocation as a human being is to be a wife and a mom. That's just kind of who I am. That's how I'm made. That's how I think. That's how I act. And so for me, settling down was more of like something that I was so ready for and so excited about. But yeah, it's awesome. I get to kind of just plan and live the life that I have always wanted for myself. It's really hard being away from home, but this is where the decisions that I've made in my life have led me, and I am extremely grateful and excited about them. So yeah. Are you worried about being a mom so young and not being supported by the youth of today? I'm not in the slightest worried about being a mom at such a young age. I don't pin myself as someone who really cares about the opinions of the youth of today. Not to say I don't care about them, but I just have no desire to have their validation or approval. And so I'm absolutely not worried about my support system and how it's kind of all going to pan out, because I'm surrounded by so many people who have been the most supportive, helpful, joyful, like just loving community. And I am blessed enough to say that not once in kind of any decision that I've ever made in my life, leaving home at 17, getting married at 19, pregnant at 20, not once in any of those major life choices or decisions have I ever felt unsupported by anyone. So the youth of today definitely has a different stance on things. And you know what? If you don't want to get married and have kids until you're 30, 40, whatever your idea may be, that is 100% beautiful and up to you, because I believe everyone's lives are different. Everyone's personalities are different. I just think that the lifestyle that I've chosen for myself is very much who I am, and I am absolutely loving it. And I could not be more excited to be a mom at 21. My birthday is in like 2 weeks, so I will be 21 when I have the baby. But all of that being said, I feel like the youth of today, at least within my community and my surrounding, have been very supportive and have been very accepting of everything that I've kind of been doing up to this point. So that was a really good question. How has the pregnancy affected your relationship with your husband? It has definitely been up and down. For the most part, I would say it's absolutely been a huge blessing and beautiful, because we've been able to, sit down and talk about family and what our values are and what we want in the future for our family, what traditions we want to bring in and how we want to raise our kids, where we want to raise our kids. And it's brought in a whole lot of extra conversations that we would probably not have had if I was not pregnant. So in that way, it has definitely brought us together, because we're learning so much more about each other. But also, like I said earlier, my sensitivity to smell has been insane. So any kind of thing near me, on me, around me, I'm just holding a random tissue in my hand. I apologize. But like the smell of my dog when she's near me, the smell of my husband when he gets out of the shower, the smell of my own clothes, like the laundry detergent, it all just makes me want to throw up. So in that sense, I would say that it hasn't been a strain on our marriage at all, but it has definitely been hard because I'm a very physical touch person. So it's been hard to not be able to just like hug and cuddle and love on my person because I'm very like sensitive to absolutely everything right now. So I would say for the most part, it has been a very positive change, and we're both extremely excited. How did you tell your parents? I actually told my parents the exact same night I found out I was pregnant, because my husband cannot keep a secret for the life of him. So he was gonna spill it whether we told them or not, like within milliseconds of finding out. So we just called my parents immediately. We called his parents and we were like, hey, you don't look nearly as old to be a grandma. And my mom was like, what? And then I winked at her and she was like, wait, are you kidding? I was like, no. And she kind of just freaked the heck out. And her and my dad both just started crying and were so unbelievably supportive and excited, which was more excitement than I honestly thought I would get out of them. So it was a beautiful moment, and gosh, it was really special. What do you do with your days, and are you currently working? No, I am still in the process of getting my green card. God bless the American government, but I'm legally not allowed to work right now. So I am just hanging out at home. I do workouts, I go on runs, I take my dog on walks. My husband and I like to go fishing quite often. We've been kayaking, we go on hikes, we explore a lot of different restaurants. I've kind of just been at home doing housework, spending time in the Word, watching a lot of movies, and honestly just trying to give myself grace for being a lazy couch potato. Why did you stop making videos? I stopped making videos because I actually got a job as a second grade teacher, and I know that I just said I'm not legally allowed to work, but I was practically volunteering as a teacher, and it was an insane, crazy experience, and it took up all of my energy and all of my time, and I just did not have the time to be making videos. So I kind of just stopped and I was like, I need to make a video, I need to make a video, and then it just slipped my mind and I just kind of gave up because I'm a very lazy couch potato, like I previously stated. But yeah, I am back now, and I promise I will not keep you in the dark for as long as I did anymore, because that was evil. I apologize. A lot of you were asking me information about my husband and how we met and all the details about that, because I know that I still have not updated everybody on the story of that insane adventure. Practically I just met and married my husband within the span of 2 weeks, which was unreal and unheard of, but I'm so excited to be able to tell you guys that story and everything that kind of goes into that, and what the heck the dude said to convince such a stubborn woman to marry his ass within 2 weeks. But I will definitely get to that. It's just that this video is already so long and I don't want to bore your ears off, so I will make another video about that as soon as I can. But for today, thank you so much for all the questions that you guys asked me, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Also, it's my mom's birthday, so happy birthday, Mom. I love you. I wish I could be with you today, but just remember, choose joy, and I love you. You're old because you're about to be a grandma. So that's me. Love you guys. Bye.